you so much. Please give me a thumbs up on my chat box. I can see you all live on Facebook. World of NLP group members, hello. I can see people on LinkedIn as well as I will be able to see people on the other platforms. A very, very warm welcome to all of you on Ask My Coachee. Ridhima. I am Ridhima Dua here. Good evening, everyone. And I have with me Aparna Kuigade. Hello, Aparna. I'll just take a
Hello.
while to introduce you and introduce the concept.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Aparna, for your patience. Hello, Arish. Good evening there on YouTube members. Good evening. Good evening, LinkedIn members. Good evening. Good evening, the Facebook members. So, first of all, thank you so much for spreading a lot of love on Women's Day workshop, which we had last week. It was an amazing session by Kathy, Jackie, Nanita, and yes, we organized the whole thing. It was lovely. It was lovely to have all the mentors and coaches who were also working with us and also helping our coaches. So, the intention of Ask Ridhima and Ask My Coachee under Ask Ridhima banner is all about getting the people who have done NLP and New Code NLP and they have amazing experiences. They have a lot of experiences and learnings for sharing to all of you out there. The intention of the Ask My Coachee workshop or Ask My Coachee interview is all about getting them to meet you and they can share the real experience with all of you. Thank you so much for also giving the love for Ask My Coachee, the different interviews which we had. We had interviews with Umesh, Professor Vipra Tiwari, Shraddha Mukashi, Amita Malvia, and today, without wasting more time, we have Aparna Kuigade with us. Thank you, Aparna, for joining. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you. Aparna is a special educator, a beautiful woman here, a beautiful human being. She is managing so many parents, kids, and also professional level, all the stakeholders. She is amazing daughter, sister, a loving human being, and also mentor for our clients at Ridhima Dua and a coach for so many. She is, yes, God of Kapoor. Yes, she is outstanding at the work which she is doing with us. And thank you so much, Aparna, for coming live with us and also sharing all the knowledge. So, Aparna, the concept is that we would like you, we will be asking you questions, and one by one, we would go and unpack the experiences which you had with NLP and New Code NLP.
Sure. Yes, I'm aware of it. I'm aware of how the theme goes on. So yes, we can simply go ahead. First of
Great.
all, let me thank you for giving me this opportunity on this platform. It's quite exciting. I'm really excited.
Oh, lovely. Thank you so much. Aparna, in between, I will keep receiving the questions also from chats. I am not sure whether you're able to see all the chats. Are you able to see the chats?
Yes, a few of them.
Okay, great, lovely. We will be receiving questions from different platform. Sorry, people on Instagram, there is some technical error and we are not able to go there. We are live on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and also on the Facebook group of World of NLP. So here we go. Let's get started. Aparna, we would like you to tell all of the people out there how did this journey of NLP begin for you?
Uh, the journey of NLP actually began in the year of 2020, somewhere in the month of April or May, where the lockdown was on, and there were a lot of these webinars which were on the spree.
Mm-hmm.
So there was this one set of webinars which you were conducting, and there were times when you conducted it by yourself, or you had Kathy, you had Shirley, and oh, what interesting times they were. So I used to I was simply going around because there was a lot of free time for me. I started
Mm-hmm.
uh, registering myself for different kinds of webinars.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to NLP, frankly, being a psychology student, I was aware of something called as NLP, but nothing more beyond that. And that's when one of the webinars really caught my attention. I attended it, I really enjoyed it. I There was a lot of learning that happened for me as well. And there came a time when I was really looking forward for those Fridays and Saturdays where I would, be a part of all of those learnings. So yeah, that's where it started. And then I enrolled myself into the courses. I completed my classic code, I am into the new code. So yeah, that's how the journey has been. And through the journey there have been amazing milestones that I have reached. So yeah, it's great. That's how it has been.
Wow, lovely. Yeah, I mean, we never knew that we would connect in so deep experiences when we got started. And you have been practicing, and I must say, with all the dedication and the commitment that you have towards practicing NLP, which I keep saying to so many people. And all of you out there who are listening to us, one of the key while learning NLP is practicing these tools and techniques with yourself. And Aparna is one of the models which we have in our group who has practiced, and practiced so many things. So thank you so much. Lovely. So I would like to let's get a little more. A lot of people come and say that, oh, NLP, what is it? You tell us in one line. What will it do, etc. So what is that example or analogy which you would like to give it to people out there, to all the people who doesn't know neurolinguistic programming? How do you make it simple for them?
To make it simple, well, I would simply give my example where when I enrolled myself in the course of NLP or started learning NLP, my simple goal for myself was a transformation for myself. I was
Mm-hmm.
stuck in various situations, in various states,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to be a better person, a better professional.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I thought, let me just go ahead and learn something new that would help me to uh, make myself a better version.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started this, yes, there were a lot of transformations. Yes, practice is the key for anything that you would want to do. So as I started learning it, as I kept going on ahead and ahead, learning more, practicing more and more, so that really helped me to be a, help myself in a better way. So now when I see myself, it's not just that it has helped me to transform my own self, it has also helped me to, point out or reach to those areas which I had not even thought of unconsciously.
Hmm. That's an interesting line. So reaching at a place where you didn't even know that this change would also occur, and that happened. Is that what you mean in simple words for them? That you reached, or your unconscious reached at that point where, oh, this change is all already happened or is happening, and you were like, okay, I didn't even thought about it. Is that kind of a
Yes.
thing which happened?
Yes, it did. It did. It was that kind of a thing. So, yeah, for me, it's like I had an intention for a few things. And now when I look back, I notice it's like one, two, three, four, five. There are so many things that have changed. So it's truly amazing.
Oh, lovely. Great. So, can we say to a lot of people who are new to NLP or who are planning to come to NLP is like, you may have a certain plan, certain objectives, and something else will also happen. Some more can also happen. So, more and more is yet to come.
Yep, definitely. I
Great.
can give ample of experiences, ample of examples out over here, for that.
Great, lovely. That's what we are waiting for. So let's get started with specific examples. So, from personal life and professional life, you can give a mix of examples for lot many people to understand what change are we talking about in simple
Sure,
examples.
sure, sure. So, if I start with my personal life, being a working woman, managing, balancing home, family, and all the other kind of responsibilities, there came a point where I was feeling really, really stagnant, and I just wanted something different for myself. I didn't knew what, how. I just wanted something different to happen, something different to occur for myself. And that's where I was like, stuck badly. So yeah, then came these different kinds of beautiful tools that you introduced me to, or all of us to. And when I started implementing them, it really did wonders for me. So if one of the examples I talk about, I'm a mother of a 14-year-old. When my son, it was a power struggle that I had. I would have this thinking, okay, you have to be back by 6 p.m., you have to complete this work, you need to do these kind of things, etc., etc. So this was a language pattern that I was using. And thanks to the meta model, I really helped, it really helped me to identify the different kinds of patterns that I can change in, which really made me or helped me to communicate in a different way, where it is not a necessity, it's not important for me to every time tell my child that you have to complete your work, you need to complete your tasks. And rather, I can give him, or we both can rather have more choices for ourselves, by which the communication can also happen, and at the same time the task can also be managed. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely one of the point. And now when I speak about that, it doesn't mean that there are no power struggles at all. Well, we still do have times, when he wants something and I expect something. Nevertheless, there is another aspect which has helped me, is I'm now able to identify or understand what I am feeling.
Mm-hmm.
In NLP words, I'm able to calibrate what is happening with me.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, so when I know that, okay, the temperature is going a little higher and higher and higher, all right, Aparna, is that required? What else can you do about this? All right, so yep, so that's when I identify some other ways of, taking care of things. And yeah, that's how we communicate or we sail through.
Wow. So I'll stop you here. This is something very interesting.
Sure,
Oh
sure, there are a lot
my
of things I said
God.
right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so power pack. Two pointers for people who are listening the very first time about NLP, right? You mentioned something which is very very interesting, and we have, I think, in most of the sessions have spoken about this have to pattern, which Aparna was speaking to all of you right now. And what you can do, all of you, is test with yourself. So when you say I have to, or you have to, I have to, or you have to do it, if that gives you pressure, check it. Or if you say, okay, I want to do this or I want to do that, what happens and how do you change the responses? How do you, change to what you want? And then how easily that happens. That's one interesting thing of which you have spoken about. Something more interesting which you mentioned is about, yes, people might have challenges in their life. The point is that NLP became a toolkit for you in which you are identifying so beautifully and gracefully, like, okay, what's happening inside? How am I breathing? What's my temperature? You're identifying that, like, on the go so beautifully. You just changed yourself that time while when you were telling, right?
Yeah.
And this is so interesting to people there, being able to identify how are you feeling, number one, at that same point of time in the reality, not later, at that point of time in the reality. And then she mentioned, what else can I do? Now, Aparna, when you say to yourself in the reality, what else can I do? How does it help you? What does it give you?
So the moment I realize, so there are times when, for me, there is an whatever is happening to me, I'm not putting it in the linguistic form as you always say it. So whatever is happening to me, i I am simply like, there is some kind of an alarm or something that comes to me that tells me, okay, stop, what's happening, notice yourself. The breathing is different, the temperature is different. Okay, is that required? If it's not required, then calm down. Look at your tone. Is that required? Okay. If it is okay, you may continue. If it's not okay, all right, go back, calm down, lower your pitch, and then look at the content that you're utilizing. Is that helpful? What more can you utilize? What more can you say? How else can you say it? Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Look at the way she was doing it. Yeah. How else
I
can you
know.
say?
It actually sounds quite easy, and it is. It sure is as well,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
isn't
I,
it?
yes, absolutely. I respect you to what you are bringing on the table for so many people who doesn't know NLP. How the body is shifting when you are saying in that fashion, in that way, what else can I do? What else can I do? Is there another choice? Is there another way? Is this required? Is it benefiting? Is it serving the intention of this relationship? Is it serving the intention of this conversation? If it is, cool. If it is not, what would happen if I change? And while she was doing that, she was moving back and forth, unconsciously changing the positions for herself so that the stage changes. And kudos to you. You're applying it in your real life. That's bang on example. So, in nutshell, can I say that the practice of NLP can be utilized by people in relationship, especially with their kids, their people around, whether it is spouse or partner, or in-laws, or brother or sister or whomsoever?
Hmm. Yes, absolutely. Any kind of relationship.
Yeah, great, lovely. You also mentioned one of the words, Aparna. You mentioned choices in relationship, which is
True,
very, very powerful.
it is.
Would you like to give some more information on the word choices? Because the word choices, though a lot of people know it, however, they do not understand, or maybe they understand both of it, the deeper meaning of the word choices, which it brings now to you.
Choices could be many times. What I feel is I want something. So this was something I was speaking with someone in the today, and this person was speaking about some concerns, and she mentioned, I just gave her an example of, there are a few dresses in my wardrobe. There's one specific dress which I like. Of course, I can't be wearing it all the times, isn't it? So, how about trying something different? Maybe not a dress, or sometimes maybe a sari, or maybe sometime a western outfit, or maybe something different than usual. I hope that answers your question.
It does it for me, of course.
Okay.
For the viewers out there, she just now used, her beautiful, beautiful strength while she learned Milton model. She's been using all that tools and techniques which she has learned in NLP, whether it is choices, whether it is calibration, whether it is asking the right question at the right time and changing the positions, or whether it is the frame of Milton model, an example which she used of wardrobe. And in all the portions, I think what you have become is to be able to use NLP as a life tool.
Yep.
That is what you're doing, and you're an example for so many who are listening to you out there on that.
I would just add on one more thing, which is, before the lockdown, professionally, whatever I was, and now when I have like full fledged started, going back to my school and working for the complete hours, back to that state, I notice there are so many things which are different. And yes, thanks to NLP, I mean, whatever you just mentioned right now, I'm noticing I'm actually breathing in NLP. It's actually got into my system. And the way I'm speaking, the way I'm conversing, the way I'm taking in things or not taking in things, it's purely thanks to all the various learnings that you have given me. So, yeah, a big
Wow.
thank you to you on that.
Wow, wow. Oh, thank you to your unconscious. Wow, I'm just so amazed to hear that. Wow, That's what happens, after doing the practice and going through the NLP process, etc. So you mentioned that before the lockdown, after the lockdown, and there are so many experiences which you have. Could you again give some examples, like, people would like to know, Acha, before this is the way you look like, and now this is the way you sound like, or you look like. So if you
Uh-huh.
can also bring that,
I'm
thanks.
sure if at all, like whoever friends of mine would be viewing this, I'm sure for them it would be a kind of surprise. Definitely, when it comes to when it comes to professional work, I did not realize this initially because it was a very I don't know whether it was a slow process or what it was. I don't know whether it was slow or fast. Whatever way it was going on, and now when I'm back into the same scenario, I notice the way I'm responding back is different. The way
Mm-hmm.
I am taking in things, or as I said, reverting back to things is also different. So it's not reverting back, rather, I would say it's the way I'm responding back to various people or the approaches is definitely different. I
Mm-hmm.
have always been an extremely anxious person.
Mm-hmm.
I was someone who would not really be open. Yeah, open. Yeah, I used to be. I was a kind of person who would not really open up. In fact, even the webinars that you mentioned, that I mentioned in the beginning, that used to hold in the month of like April and May. At that time, I have attended almost each and every webinar that I got off, and almost every time I would keep my camera off. I would not really be verbalizing or putting any kind of questions or any answers in the chat box, except for that, oh, thank you, it was a wonderful session. That's it. Two, here I am sitting over here speaking to you, sharing my journey, talking about learnings and so many things. So yeah, that's the transformation I have had for myself.
Wow, lovely. I think in one word, for people to know, the change is so, so, so visible, and they can hear that. And maybe people who already, people who know Aparna already, they would be like, okay, that Aparna used to not speak so much, or used to not communicate in this way, or used to not respond in that way. And now the responses in which you are responding, the way you are communicating, the way you are being very open, as you mentioned, his just changed, right?
Yes,
That's
yes.
interesting. So this also helps you professionally for managing all the different stakeholders which you have around you.
Definitely, definitely. Being a mental health professional, for me, there are times I'm required to meet students,
Mm-hmm.
parents,
Mm-hmm.
teachers.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of information seeping in,
Mm-hmm.
and when this information is seeping in, there are a lot of things which start reaching me as well. So
Mm-hmm.
thanks to that beautiful tool of putting filters for myself, I'm able to take in only the information which is important for me,
Hmm.
which is required for me, and pushing away the information which might not be so very important. So
Wow. 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 This is something very, very powerful which you just mentioned.
it
A
is.
lot of people may not even know about what you are saying fully. She mentioned about putting the filter. It's like when you're making a cup of tea, and at that time, after you filter the cup of tea, then you have the tea which you do not require after it has given all the smell and the taste in amazing cup. You do not need that. What you need, or what you want, or what you would like to enjoy is a cup of tea. So, literally, the brain has a filter mechanism in which it can filter out all that which you're perceiving is negative, and you can just filter it out, and you can only take the information which you require. And do you do it, it just happens unconsciously now, or do you do it?
Yes, it happens unconsciously itself. So
Mhm.
in fact, just a few days back I noticed that, all right, I am not really tired at the end of the day, because I am taking sessions, I'm meeting teachers, there's a lot of information seeping in. So by the end of the day it used to be really tiring for me, mentally, physically. And now I notice that, well, it's not so. I mean, I'm still energetic as I am. and I have enough information. I have that good amount of information which is important for my work to complete, and the other not so important information is away. So if I require it, I may come, excuse me, I may come back to it, or then it's just, it can be drained off. So
Hang on, hang on. There's so many people would benefit from this line which you just mentioned. So you are actually saying, kind of, that after using NLP tools and techniques, the time has come for you in which you are doing your whole course, which is your office, your home, you yourself, etc., plus the voluntary work which you do with us, the beautiful work which you do to mentor and coach people, and you're continuously on it all the time with us. And with that, at the end of the day, your body, which maybe used to feel tired and now it doesn't, and you know that it doesn't, you're aware, you're fresh, you feel fresh.
yes, yes.
Wow, lovely. Yay. That's what it happens to me. So I'm so glad that it happens to you too. Wow, lovely. This is very interesting, Aparna, because lot many viewers are going to also see this recording later. And this is very, very interesting for viewers who are there and viewers who would see this later and hear this later. And you can feel the relaxation in the body while Aparna was talking to you all. This is very interesting that the tools can be utilized in such a way that unconsciously you would get into the zone where you're doing what you're doing because you want to do it, and you do what you want to do it. You can filter out anything which is negative, so like that, and complete all the task, take the information what is required, and still feel fresh at the end of the day. And I'm sure each one of us listening to us here, each one of you listening to us would like to feel that freshness, isn't it? Wow. You have gifted a beautiful gift to all of them.
I have just received it from your end, and I'm just passing it forward. That's it.
You're amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Great. I still have a little more questions if we can take for 15 more minutes. So you said that you are a special educator. You're working with the parents. You're working with children. You are working with special needs also.
Yes.
And tell us some specific examples that how people in education, especially, can use NLP while they are conversing or communicating with parents or children.
Mm, I would rather generalize this question and say that it's not just only for education, but it
Mhm.
also can be applied for each and every field where you are working with another human being, or even when you're working with your own self, people. So, yeah, if I have to specifically consider about my profession, my work, yes. Um, there are times when you can be at how would I put it? Uh, you can definitely take in information, help the person out. So, for example, the other day when I was speaking to a parent, and she
Mhm.
just caught hold of me on my way, and she just started giving me the information. My child is this and that, and I'm doing this, and this is working and this is not working, and so much of information that she started pouring in. For me, I was on my way for something where she caught hold of me, so I was in a different state. Now the
Mhm.
interesting part was when she started speaking to me. For me, it just took me like just 2 seconds maybe, and then I was, yeah, and then I was like, okay, I'm listening. And it went on. So we had a conversation of whatever, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, or whatever. And I was there with her, maintaining my state, listening to her, collaborating to what she was saying, what was happening to me, and then also responding back with a few choices for her.
Mhm.
So, yes, when it comes to me working with parents, me, or for example, or another example where was in a meeting with a parent with my other authority members, and there are times when some parents are not ready to agree something. As a teacher, as a professional, I'm sure we all would agree with that. So yes, me collaborating, when I consciously started collaborating this parent, and I could get to understand a few things or get to know a few things, and I reached to his tone and I reached to the way he was seated, and I passed on my information to him, which just reached bang on to him. And
Oh,
the parent, who was a little defensive at that moment, actually was agreeing and said, yeah, all right, ma'am, I agree with you. Okay, I'll do that at the earliest. This was the way he spoke to me finally. So yeah,
wow, wow.
it was.
This is a bang example for using the tools for, of course, with the good intentions to be able to negotiate, to be able to convince or influence. With all the intentions set, you also utilized pacing and calibrating and getting to the tonality level wherein you are getting into the same zone and bang on. You both are in the similar zone, playing a game of rapport, playing a game of then working and conversing at the unconscious level. Yeah, brilliant, brilliant piece which you are transferring for many other diploma holders which we have, and they must be listening and they can utilize this knowledge more and more. Aparna has given some a very, very, very interesting example using NLP. She's talking about pacing and leading. She's talking about calibration. And I'm sure she must have also used a meta model. And with that, she used some part of Milton model for passing that information so that the client or the parent agrees to what Aparna is saying in a way, and not with the intentions only which she has, with the intentions of the organizational level, which can help the parent, the teacher, and the students. So that is something very interesting, and I think all of you listening to this can take away one important part. NLP can directly be applied in communication, whether you are communicating with yourself or communicating with others, any kind of a stakeholder or relationship. The work is so within that it would, some part of it would be very unconscious, and some part of it you can train yourself at the conscious level, both of it. Nice, lovely. Bring it on. Give us more information. Give us more examples, Aparna. How do you how would you like people to use NLP? Because a lot of people still have this kind of mindset that okay, NLP is only about people who are coming into coaching or coming into counseling or psychology background, etc. What message would you like to give it to them?
It's not so. I mean, see, for me, I just give my example. I started learning NLP the day one when we had our session, we had a class, and you were asking each one of us, okay, what is the purpose? What is the intention for you getting into NLP? And I had said, I am looking forward for my personal growth. So yes, consciously, I just had my intention of being a better version for myself at a personal level.
Mhm.
And it just did not work only on my own self. I am in a better relationship with my family members, with my son, with my professional colleagues, with my students, with their parents. So it's, overall, it's a complete the complete world, I would say, which is around me.
Mhm.
And everything, absolutely, like everything is changed.
A generalization,
Mhm.
everything, the big
Every
everything.
Yes, there's nothing specific.
That's amazing. That's amazing. You come from a special education also, so let me take this opportunity to answer so many parents, right? Um, this is very general. It's a general opinion which I am making, and I may be wrong. It's only an opinion for other parents to understand, although I do not believe so. A lot many parents still are struggling with the comparisons or the inabilities which the kids have or kids are having, not able to get up to their expectations, etc., etc. you understand the kind of
Yes.
generalization which I am making. I would like, with all due respect of your background in education, what message would you like the parents to have using NLP? What message would you like the parents to have while they think all of this?
Well, I would say, even though I'm a special educator working with special education needs students, I would simply say that each and every child is special. Each and every child is different in his or her own way. No two siblings are the same, right? Who are born biologically from the same parents. Even the identical twins have a different thumbprint, so we cannot be expecting children to be, you know, being at par. If I'm a doctor, my child also has to be a doctor. If I'm doing a, I'm being successful in this specific profession, my child also should be in it. So there's a shoulds and, haves and needs which is coming in, which is something which can be definitely be worked upon, I would say. So yeah, create
Mm-hmm.
choices,
Mm-hmm.
identify where, what the child is good at, is capable of, as per the abilities, and then open the open the choices, open the options.
Great, lovely. And I think in one word or in one line, you would like to say to the parents, drop your shoulds.
Yeah.
The moment they would drop their shoulds, and we will challenge them more and more to drop their shoulds, and then check what can happen. And I think you have
True.
said that in your conversation multiple times. The moment they would drop their shoulds and haves, they would have more and more choices in front of them.
I'm a live example sitting over here who started dropping those haves and shoulds and needs too. And yes, life is more simpler, it's more easier, and yes, it's easy to sail through.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. I would also like you to tell us, you are also using NLP for coaching people. You are sailing through that very, very beautifully and gracefully, rather. There are people who are connected with you on our platform and you're coaching them and they like remember you and they like get massive, amazing, subtle, beautiful results while working with you. How is your experience in coaching, and what would you like the message for coaches from your side? What message would you like to give to the coaches from your side?
Am I at that position to really say a message
Your
to my
experience,
coach
your
friends?
experience, your
uh,
experience. So that is, yeah.
okay. Okay, everyone else, Ridhima keeps telling, is being very sweet and very humble person, for she's saying such beautiful words for me. I'm really honored. Oh my God, I'm speechless. I would just say, the best thing that we all can do is keep practicing it, as she always says it, all the times. All the times. Yes, all the times. Keep practicing it. I noticed a passion towards NLP. In fact, this is something which, recently there was someone very close to my workplace also happened to say that, wow, you really are, passionate about NLP. I can see that in your eyes. And I said, yes, I really love it. It's like a new love that I have found for myself, and I'm really passionate about it. So keep practicing it as much as you can. I remember me catching up with my friends, with my colleagues in the NLP family, and yeah, learning it for quite some time. And yes, through different kind of experiences that, Ridhima, you have created for me, as such, for all of us rather, the different kinds of platforms, like be it the mentoring, the coaching, it has really helped me to identify what more better things that I can learn. How better can I learn? So it's not just that the learnings have come from you, but we, all of us, are also being, being more strengthening for our own selves, where today if I notice that, okay, there is a concern, it's not necessary for me to every time go and, ask Ridhima, but I know there are definitely a few people out there I can shout out, and they would be like, "Okay, Aparna, come on, let's catch up together and let's figure it out." So yeah, that's another achievement, a milestone, Ridhima, that you have achieved. I would say that you have created us in such a way that yes, we don't not even just help our own selves, but also we can help each other. So thanks to you.
Wow, lovely. A lot of love to so many people out there, and a lot of love to all the mentoring and the buddy coaches out there, including Aparna, of course. I think what you have mentioned, a word practice, yes, for all the coaches. And with that, the dedication which you had for practice, and you all came together to curate the experience. And experiences, I think, is at the neurological level as is at the experience level. The more you experience, the more you go back with the feedback, and the more choices you have with you. And one message which I would like to give it to all of you: practice the way Aparna has been talking about as a coach. If you are learning NLP or new code NLP, and maintain your coach state. She does it so well at many times, and she has also talked to you all about it just a while ago. And this is just a reinforcement of what we have been talking about. While you maintain your coach state, especially while you're coaching, it's going to help you so, so, so beautifully and so gracefully. And it is okay if you lose. The point is, are you able to come back to maintain it? That's very important,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
Great. Lovely. Thank you so much, Aparna, for enlightening so many people that you have used NLP with your son, with your relationships, with your kids at school, with the parents at school, with the stakeholders while you were having a meeting, also with yourself as a person to detect your own breathing patterns, your own shifts in the body, and finding more choices. What else can I do? What else can I do? And when you do that, you had a lot of choices in front of you in your perception, in your reality, in your map. And that's what the magic is. Great, lovely. The last message for all the people who doesn't know NLP, give them one line so that they can take away from you that they would remember NLP as.
One line for NLP. Hmm, Let me think about it. Because when it comes to NLP, I can just keep going on and on. So
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Great.
NLP is that magic box, I would say, which has some interesting things in it. Every time you require something, just put your hand in that box and take out something, and that is definitely going to be helping you out. So go
Wow.
ahead, explore it, enjoy it.
Wow. So, so, so powerful. A magic box. Lovely. Carry this magic box with you. Carry this magic box, everyone. And yes, Garima, thank you so much for writing for us. Yes, your experiences have also been there. You have been working on yourself so very well, and you've been experiencing so much. Thank you so much. Oh, she writes, I used to feel exhausted even without doing anything. Now I feel so fresh even after doing a lot of tasks. Cool. Thumbs up! Wow! Wow! Great. Aparna has given one very beautiful message to all of you. It's a magic box. If you would like to experience a magic box, what you need to do only is, or you can do only is, go and touch, open the magic box, see and experience in depth. Maybe with silence or maybe with some music. Thank you so much, everyone, for seeing us live. Thank you so much, Aparna, once again, for coming and throwing light on different topics and different things. I am really, really glad to have you all together who are creating so many experiences for people to crack the belief that NLP can be one tool which they can go and just rely on. Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you so much, viewers. We will see you in the next week with Michael Carroll on 25th of March coming in for New Code NLP for all the viewers. for all our practitioners and diploma holders. And on 24th of March, we are doing one more session on confidence and NLP together. Thank you so much. We will see you in the next week. Take care. Bye bye. Ciao.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you so
everyone. Thank
much.
you, Garima, Senthil. I couldn't see LinkedIn chat, so I'm very sorry, people on LinkedIn. Thank you so much, Gaurav. I could see there. Reshma, thank you so much. We will be in touch with you. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone. Have a good night. See you.